Hi everybody, my name is Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thanks very much for tuning in. Okay, so I wanted to let you guys know this for a little while, which is that the server that this particular Mox News page is on, the YouTube server, seems to be broken, or something's wrong with the YouTube script, that, or YouTube is intentionally playing shenanigans with my particular YouTube page, and it's been that way for quite a while now. And I want to make sure that you know that I'm not getting any personal private messages sent to me. I mean, I got one like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But usually in the past it'd be 1 a day or 2 a day, or at least like 5 a week, something like that, right? And you know, I could understand it slowing down, but not completely dropping off to nothing. I mean, maybe I could understand that, but I don't really. So, and I'm afraid that maybe some of you are trying to contact me and that I'm not responding to you, and I don't want you to think that I am ignoring you guys trying to contact me. Okay, so I wanted to make that really clear. There's a whole bunch of hinky stuff going on with my YouTube page. This particular YouTube page is www.moxnews.com page, and I really thought I should let you know. I mean, it's like people are telling me that they're being unsubscribed over and over again, and other stuff is happening. A lot of other stuff. Like I'll post videos and then search for them and not be able to find them and stuff like that. Which is just doesn't make any sense. And but again, I think the YouTube is probably labeled Mox News fake news or alt-right news or some ridiculous fucking label. Labels, oh my god, let me tell you something about labels. People love to say, oh, you're a conservative. You know how many people have called me conservative? You know, I said, oh, you're a liberal. If I had to pick a label, that would probably be the one I would pick. But it doesn't really, I mean, I am the most Second Amendment supporting liberal, you know, most liberal Second Amendment supporting person ever, because I don't like the idea of conservative, but at the same time, it's just there is no conservative anymore, right? What I mean, I like what conservative is supposed to mean, but when you use it now, it doesn't. It's just a word that you use to label someone, so you can say, "Oh, I disregard that person now." Liberal, you know. Oh, he's a liberal, so we can just like, you know, ignore everything that he has to say. Nothing he has to say applies to us because he's a liberal. Those words don't mean anything. Conservative, you know, conservative is supposed to mean small government. Stay out of your business. Okay? I want government to stay out of your business. I want government to stay out of my business. I don't want government in your home telling you how to run your family. I don't want government in my home telling me how to run my body and my family. That's what conservative is supposed to mean. There are no more conservatives. Now there's social conservatives, which is not a conservative. It's the exact opposite of what I just said. A social conservative wants people in your bedroom telling you what sexual positions are acceptable and which ones aren't. And yeah, and you can't use genital stimulation devices. That is not allowed, ladies. That's what today's conservatives are. But that's not what the word originally meant when people were labeling themselves that way. But again, it's just a label. It's used to go, oh, I disregard that person because they're a blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, I just attach to them because of my own personal bias. But I digress. Labels are bullshit. Mox News is doing what it's always done for the last 12 years on the YouTube, where, you know, we've been on the front page of every major news outlet on the interwebs, right? Been on hightimes.com at least 3 times on the front page. Been at aclu.org front page. Been on Comedy Central /Tosh.0 at least 3 times. And then Huffington Post hundreds of times. MSNBC.com. Mox News Post on MSNBC.com. And on and on and on. I'm pretty sure we've been on FoxNews.com also. And Drudge. And Salon. And every outlet there is. I'm telling you. Every major one. And I have to come out here and beg for help. It's ridiculous. While other people make you watch advertisements. I know you're used to that. I know you think that somehow that's okay. But it's not. So you know. Man, unless they're actually doing, if they're, whatever. It's not fair use if they're commercializing it. That's what the truth is. And I don't like advertising. Advertising is the worst part of television, and it's quickly becoming the worst part of the internet, if not already the worst part. The worst part of the internet is actually censorship, and then advertising is a close second with, you know, malware and stuff like that. But I digress. My YouTube is broken. If you're sending me a private message, I haven't gotten it for months and months and months. I looked at my spam the other day, and one of the people who is a longtime supporter, longtime commenter, just every time I see her comments, I hear Angel sing. And she said she had a Vermin Supreme bumper sticker for me. And that, you know, she wanted me, she'd been saving it because she knew that I was a fan of Vermin Supreme. She wanted to send it to me. And I wrote her back, and I don't know if she got it or not. I found her message in my spam folder. It was about 3 weeks old when I found it. I wrote her back. I don't know if she got my message because my stuff is messed up on this end. So I want you guys to know that my email address is at the bottom of the screen. It's been there the whole time I've been talking. Okay, so it's cspanjunkie.org. No, it's not dot. It's DOTORG. The cspanjunkie, DOTORG at gmail.com. Okay. I know it's a long one, but the reason I bring it up is because one of the persons that was on last night's video said, hey, my offer to buy you lunch or dinner still stands. And I'm like, I like lunch and dinner. I really like lunch and dinner. And I wanted to say, so I don't know if I'm not getting your message or what, but I like lunch and dinner. If any of you guys would like to buy me lunch or dinner, it's easy to do. You can go to moxnews.com. Or if you look in the text body of this video, right below the video, there's a little box. If you look down there, there's a number of different ways to make donations to Mox News. And everything helps so much. Can't tell you. Every time somebody takes a minute and says, here's a little something for you, Mike, it really seems to make it all worthwhile. So thank you very much for that. And that's the only reason Mox News has been able to be here on the YouTube for 12 years now. Okay? So you know how important your donations are. It's only because of you that I'm still here. So you know. Thank you. Stay cool. One of these days this war is going to end. My name is Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News.
Compassion stirred the Buddha to send his monks out into the community. Sworn to chastity and poverty, they wandered the roads, bringing the Buddha's teachings into the world. Go forth, monks, for the happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world. There are beings whose eyes have little dust on them, who will perish if they do not hear the teaching. But if they hear the teaching, they will gain liberation.
The monks exist by begging. We think of begging as kind of a bad thing. Begging in this tradition is a good thing. It's a sign of spiritual purity.
You're not allowed to beg tomorrow's lunch today. Only today's lunch. Then you can't eat from noon until dawn the next day. Then you have to go out and get another lunch. And then in exchange for lunch, you give a lecture. Unless they say we don't want to hear about it, then you don't. But that's the only thing but that forces you to interact with the lay community.
And if you're not serving them, if you're not doing something useful for them, they won't put anything in your bowl, and that will be the end of your community.